Scanning. Identity authorized. Welcome to the Secret Superhero Club Podcast Network.
This is Berk, son. It was the home of your grandparents and their grandparents before them. But out there, beyond the edge of the world, lies the home of the dragons. And I believe it's your destiny to one day find this hidden world.
You do know my leg isn't a chew toy, don't you? Is this what you want? Yeah, go get it. How am I supposed to get down? Hey, bud, wait up.
Well, I started out all alone.
He's not the only one.
I'm learning to fly,
Another night fury.
but I ain't got wings.
It's more like a bright
A light fury.
Yeah, yours is better, probably.
Well, the good old days
There is an armada with enough cages for all of our dragons.
may not return.
This is a new kind of enemy. We need to find the hidden world.
I will destroy everything you love.
Toothless, no!
The sea may burn.
You're nothing without your dragon.
If Grimmel succeeds, there won't be any dragons left. And it's up to us to put an end to it.
So, what are you gonna do about it?
Suit up, gang. We have one shot at this. You brought a baby to a battle? I couldn't find a sitter. The hidden world. It really does exist.
Now that's a king.
You're right, bud. It's time. Well, look who it is. Not a word.
Welcome, everybody, to the Animation Station Podcast, episode 145. My name is Josh.
I'm Hanna.
And today we are joined again by Mr. Gavin Otteson from the Podcateers, and formerly the ASP.
Yep.
He was a former host, former friend, and now he's back.
Whoa.
I think former friend is a bit of a little spilt tea here, so let's
You know. So Gavi, how's it going in the week since we've talked to you?
It's going good. We had a fun day at Disneyland yesterday.
Oh yeah, sure, rub it in.
Wait, everybody, hold on.
Oh, sorry, missed all the fizz.
Yeah, you gotta put it in the mic so we can hear it.
My Dr. Pepper fizzing over here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, so go ahead, Gavin.
Things are good.
Wow, I was expecting a little bit more of a dissertation, and you were just like, it's good.
Well, not a whole lot has happened since we last chatted. I went to work for 5 days and went to Disneyland yesterday.
Well, you've got some special guests, special tenants.
We have our pals from Hilt Radio in the house.
That's Brittany and Remy DeCosmo.
Only
That's
those two?
right.
Yep, those are the main ones.
They
the
brought
ones
their
that
driver
matter.
Liam with them too.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
Oh, their driver.
Their chauffeur. Oh, fun times. And who knows, maybe they'll grace us with their sleepy presence.
Maybe
It's possible.
eventually.
Maybe. Very possible.
Yeah, it's actually almost 100% probable that we'll hear the youngest of them.
Oh,
Always.
little Rimster. It's been a while since Remy's been on the show.
Well, always.
Special guest Remy soon. All right, so anybody got any of that good news?
Good news.
Good news.
Good news. Well, they've expanded the casting for the new dub Fruits Basket.
They have.
Yes.
Speaking of Fruits Basket, I just finished that yesterday.
Did you?
I finished it.
How was the rewatch?
It was good. I skipped a few episodes
Well,
because I didn't care.
You gotta.
So I was just like, no.
Like, when you're rereading the manga, I don't skip anything because it's just that good. It's like 23 issues, and you don't skip a single
Yeah,
page.
the bit with when they went to Ayame's
What? You dissing on my man?
No, I skipped that. I was like, no, I'm all right.
No, I love that character, but Ayame has been one of my favorites. And they announced that Christopher Sabat is going to be Ayame.
I'm interested in who they're going to get to be hero, because it was the young Alphonse Elric.
Yeah, and now he's
back in the day. He's way older. He's
older now, and that will need to be adjusted.
I want to do it.
You want to do it?
I don't think they've probably already cast, but I'm just like,
oh yeah, they're probably
Funimation, please. Let me be hero.
Have you been seeing Caitlin's tweets when she
pick
does
up that shoe, you no, I'm just kidding.
Have you been seeing Caitlin Glass's tweets when she announces?
Yes.
Like all the puns that she inserts into it.
It's been bad.
I applaud you, Caitlin Glass. No, it's been good.
No, they're great, but at the same time, you look at him, you're just like,
Caitlin, how long did it take you to come up with that? Because I'm impressed.
Like when they announced, what's the name of the dragon?
Toothless.
No,
not that dragon.
Elliot.
It starts with an H.
It does start with an H.
When they announced it, was like, we're not dragging this one out, and I was like, shut up. Like that was bad. It was so bad. No, it was good, but it was so bad.
That's good. Well, that's puns. That is the world of puns, though.
All puns bad.
So no, Josh and I are really excited about the Fruits Basket's redub. We're very upset that so far, like, the premiere in theaters is not yet been scheduled to take place in Oklahoma. But we're hoping that maybe they will add a day so then we can get to participate, because the swag for that looks really cool too.
That loud sound you just heard was Josh trying to throw a water bottle out of the booth and missing.
He tried.
Yeah. But Josh, I caught it, though.
Pod?
A for effort.
I caught it. You know, I'm good like that.
It didn't hit the mic.
It did not hit the mic, no.
We should have a blooper reel at the end of the episode.
Oh, that's the NPR. That's going to go at the end of the episode.
Nice.
We should
Wait, have either of you guys read the Fruits Basket manga?
Hanna has.
Yeah?
We would get it from the library for a really long time, and then I started working at the bookstore. And then I would buy them as they came out with my sister. So she still has the, like, original printing where it was, like, the manga scanlations that were...
the almost, like, not official ones. The ones
yeah,
where it looks like
but they were still,
someone
like...
photocopied them.
And they were photocopies. So, like, going back and, like, do it... Like, because my sister's buying me now the new collector's editions that are just gorgeous. Ooh. And they're like the original art, so they're not like the thick, harsh lines from the original. I go, wow, they've done a lot of editing. And Tessa's like, no, that's actually what the art originally looked like. It just didn't look like that here. So nice. This Fruits Basket's for me. I was reading like Fruits Basket and Rurouni Kenshin about the same time, and both of those ended about the same time. And both of those are like top 5 manga series for me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's interesting that Fruits Basket was pretty much my very first exposure to manga. It was one of the very first series that Barnes & Noble began carrying back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And so I had no idea what manga was before I started working at Barnes & Noble. And like the earliest one I remember was Fruits Basket.
It's
been around forever.
It a light purple cover or is it a light blue cover?
It's like a tealy color.
Okay.
Like a soft mint blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a special cover, and then it'd have like the characters.
It had like each one issue, or like, oh, we're gonna get more of this person because they're on the cover, kind of thing. Yeah.
Fun times, and fast times at Ridgemont High.
No, not quite.
The our unlocked D&D. I don't remember if we talked about it last week, but our unlocked D&D extravaganza will be March 16th.
Nice.
We have a date figured out, so it's going to be March 16th in Dallas. Tickets are available. I'm just kidding. We'll announce where we're gonna. Yeah, we're gonna announce where we're doing it. If you want to show up, if you're in Dallas, feel free.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, we're gonna be doing it at a. I'm just waiting for the confirmation, but it looks like we're gonna be doing it at a game shop.
Like I think we talked about it last week. I don't think we talked about it on the podcast last week.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But that's really exciting.
Yeah. So
that's like free advertisement for the local game place too.
Exactly. So like I left message. I mean, I called. I left my message with everything. So I'm just waiting for them to give me a call back. So hopefully Monday I can lock down where it's going to be and everything like that and start posting that. But we're going to have Christopher Waycamp voice actor works at Funimation. Oh, they all work at Funimation. So
Yeah,
Christopher
just leave with that.
Exactly. Hayden DeVore and Mr. Rico Fajardo is going to be there as well.
Nice.
So, yeah. And Crystal Reese will be our camera operator.
Awesome.
Yeah. What are you doing March 16th? It's a Saturday.
I'm going to take a wild throw.
You're probably working.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not, you can come with us.
Okay.
That way you can go see Rico again.
That's like I'm going to take a wild fastball guess.
Work.
That I'm going to be closing that night.
Lame. That's lame. Also, next week we're going to be doing our Dragon Prince Season 2 episode.
You devoured that thing in like a day, didn't you?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm going to do it again for this week so I can be nice and fresh for when everything happens.
All the pop culture references that you were throwing at me nice and fresh at the forefront of your mind.
We got Sailor Moon ones. We had Avatar ones. There was One Does Not Simply Walk Into... Zadia reference, which is totally a Sean Bean, and I was like, bravo, everyone. You did great. Everyone was so good. It made me laugh.
Good.
These are all things from the Dragon Prince series?
Yep.
Okay.
Gavin, you should watch the Dragon... Well, okay, so...
Well, it sounds like it's referencing only things I don't know about.
You don't know
what I get?
The One Does Not Simply Walk into Mordor meme with Sean Bean?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, you know Lord of the Rings?
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
You worked at a bookstore.
Hey, that doesn't mean anything.
Them from my
Yeah, but he should know that they were movies, though.
You can know that they're movies and not have watched the movies.
Well, but it's
know that they are
he's
books
also
and not
married
have
to
read
Charlie.
the books.
He's married to Charlie.
That
though.
actually doesn't mean too much. Because there can be a differences of opinion
he's
and
seen all
taste.
of Stargate.
It's not Lord of the Rings.
That's because I like Stargate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was forced to watch the Lord of the Rings movie, and I still hold that grudge against a particular friend of mine who did not tell me it was going to be extended versions in one damn day.
Yeah, that
was a misstep by my said best friend.
You should have been like me and fell asleep during the Two Towers.
I was
because
too angry.
The majority of that, you can just fall asleep, and then you wake up and you're like, Helm's Deep, okay.
And it's like,
now
Legolas is now gonna go like skiing on a shield, okay.
And then you can basically just sleep through all of Return of the King.
Pretty much. I always wake up at the same part where he's in like the Land of the Dead, doing his like, what say you? And I go, okay, we're into the good parts. I can start paying attention now. I am surrounded by my older brother, my younger brother, my sister, and my brother-in-law are all obsessed with Lord of the Rings, and I'm over here, Chronicles of Narnia.
Well, them Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh, then they made a sad series of films.
The first one wasn't bad. Caspian was not good. I
didn't
even see Treader.
Disney just doesn't know how to do series.
No, well,
they just don't.
Netflix has it now, so they're gonna do a series for.
Yeah, they're starting it over.
Yes,
right?
they're gonna completely restart Chronicles of Narnia, which I'm giddy about, and I hope they do it right. I mean, I love the cast.
I think they're gonna start kicking people out after.
See, I loved the cast of the movies, and I enjoy them for like what they are. Like, I'll just put them in and watch them. Can I argue that they're really good movies? No, I can't. But there's still movies that I enjoy to watch every once in a while.
You know what they should reboot on Netflix? Percy Jackson. Actually make it good.
Please.
That would be amazing. If they
that's what I wish that they would do with Artemis Fowl.
Oh, yeah. Disney's going to ruin it.
He's going to ruin it.
I wish it was animated.
And I wish it came out like 15 years ago.
Terrible track record with series.
I don't even know who's going to be Artemis Fowl. Like, is it actually going to be a kid?
Yeah, he's a kid.
I was hoping they weren't going to like. Unfortunately,
Percy Jackson.
I love Logan Lerman, but I'm like, bro, he's 12, man.
If they got him like 10 years earlier, and got Logan when he was younger, that would have been perfect. But he was too old.
Yeah.
You know.
Could have got a young Josh Hutcherson.
See, no, I don't see Josh as Percy though.
You're right. Yeah. Oh well. One day.
We'll see.
One day something will happen. Anyway, off on that tangent, this was the We All Worked at a Bookshop edition of the series. But our good friends over at Squared Co. are doing some awesome. The last few episodes have been really, really good. They did an episode on Hilda, which is the Netflix series. Fantastic, love it. And now they're doing Avatar, yeah. So Jared is our good friend Jared Mariyama is watching Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time.
For the first time?
For the first time. For the first time in forever.
That would be really interesting to like watch a show with someone that's never seen it before, and then like record it, just like what they're doing. Are you moving it?
Oh no, you're good. No, you're.
I can't move. Like this is too
no,
close.
I was moved. Oh, that's right. I didn't know that was moving that. There, I was trying to get you in frame for the camera.
Like, moving the mic because I've also got the shield situation.
Yeah.
We do our best. Doing the best we can.
One day we'll be professional. One day.
One day.
Okay. Anybody else have any news? Gabby, you got any news?
I don't think I have any news this week, no.
Oh.
You guys watch that new Spark short?
Oh,
No.
I've
not watched any Spark
Kickball?
Yeah. Kickball.
I watched Umbrella Academy.
I want to watch that too.
It's good.
Did you watch Smash and Grab, Josh?
What's that?
Okay, then that's a no. There's 3 Spark shorts out
Oh, yeah,
so
no,
far.
I've not watched any of the Spark shorts.
So
Oh,
only
man.
watch Kickball if you're prepared to feel emotional.
Me feel emotional? I just watched Fruits Basket. Why would I ever feel emotional? I got to that bit with Momiji, and I was just like, it still gets me to this day. I was just like,
talk about tragic backstory.
So sad. He has a little sister, and I'm just like, he just wants to. I love
that we're back onto Fruits Basket.
Yeah, so I hope that they do the same thing with Momiji. Like he delivered all of like the dark stuff when it was anything that was going to be. This is going to be a super serious topic. Momiji had to deliver it, and I love that.
Well, that's kind of how it was in the manga too. It will with the exception of when it would get to the Kyo stuff, like that was all.
Then Shigure would pop up.
That was all Sensei.
Okay.
Sensei would.
Oh, I love Sensei.
Yeah. So
Kazuma?
Yes, he would come in and he would deliver a lot of Kyo stuff from the manga. So I'm curious to see if they'll do that in the new show.
Yeah, but yeah, Momiji telling everything. And then when he was explaining the whole thing with, is it Ritsu? The tiger?
Yes.
When he was explaining everything
and
about her. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
He comes over with them in the manga. So yeah, a lot of the serious stuff is delivered by him.
Good. I like that.
Yeah.
He's by far my favorite character in that entire thing.
I don't know. I love Hanna.
Yeah.
With her electrical waves.
Oh, God. When she had to, kind of be like, no, we can't touch her. She has to go do her own thing. And then she starts crying. And I was just like, oh.
I love her.
Got me. Gavin, go watch Fruits Basket.
So why isn't it called Fruit Basket?
Well, because, Gavin, they talk about Fruits Basket. Because apparently it's this game in that she played when she her friends played when she was little. Her friends, her classmates played where they all went on a it's all like one big game where like you're all on the picnic and everybody is a fruit. Mm-hmm. Because so it's basically a basket of fruit. And so like you're an apple, you're this, you're a pineapple, you're blah 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 blah. And then when it got to Toru, they were like, Toru, you're the rice ball. Because they, I guess, didn't really want to play with her. So basically what the kids do is like they start calling out a fruit, and then that person gets to go in and start playing, and it's like a game of tag or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Toru's just like sitting there waiting for them to call the rice ball, but it's Fruits Basket, and nobody ever calls the rice ball.
Yeah.
So it was a way for kids to be mean.
Yeah.
And without being like super mean. Very passive aggressive mean.
Like a lot of kids are.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like reindeer games. Okay, so I guess that's all very interesting. My question was more grammatically themed than story-wise. Because if I see a basket of fruit, I just call it a fruit basket and not a fruits basket.
Well, a fruit basket means should only be one type of fruit in there.
No, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means it's a basket made for carrying fruit.
Well, then you would say, look, this is a basket of fruit.
right?
It is
Yeah.
also a Japanese translation.
Like
Yes, exactly. It is a Japanese.
for example, like you don't call it a business cards holder. You just call it a business card holder.
Well, usually you don't have multiple business cards like for different companies. You know what I mean? Like you would have like one
guess.
card.
I've just never. That's the only example I've heard of that usage of fruits. I just think it's weird.
No, Hanna had a really great point. Like it's totally a translation issue.
So it was probably something
Okay.
grammatically in the translation that made it Fruits Basket.
Mm-hmm.
So, because but you raise a good point. I never thought about that way, about the title of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a good thing that now like it was called Fruits Basket previously because now like in 2019 it would probably just be called Edible Arrangements, and that would just be a really weird name for an anime.
Maybe not that type of show. I think we're looking on like the dark side of anime for a show called Edible Arrangements.
I could see that. That would be a fun one.
That'd be something that you couldn't talk about on your show.
No, that would be ASP After Dark. And speaking of the ASP After Dark, check out those episodes on our Patreon that doesn't exist yet. So, we'll pop those on.
should.
Announcement from the future.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Eventually. It's like 3 hours later. All right, so let's kind of go into our main topic.
Like actual topic.
Our actual topic, which is How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World.
Bum, 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 bum. That movie had such good music.
It did. It had a lot of really good music in it.
Yeah. Very drum heavy, and I dig it.
There was a part where when we kind of zoom out, or when we first find that one area where like we first get introduced to everybody, all the Badmans. And it's like that island. It's like Trapper Island.
The first
it's like the Trapper
mission?
Keeper
It
Island.
looked like, for me, for a hot second when I was watching it, it looked like Stonehenge.
Exactly, yeah, like that place.
Yeah.
There's playing this like really cool like score, and like there's this operatic that's going on too, and then it just cuts, and I was like, no, play that more, please.
We want more of that. More of that.
It sounded really cool. But no, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World is the third of the How to Train Your Dragons, which they decided not to make it How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Which I can respect.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of changing the naming convention. What do you guys...
Yeah.
Not like after the third one. I mean, like, if you do 1 and then you do 2, you could have called it How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden World. But just to not even put the 3 out there.
Or maybe they were following the convention of the shows, because it's like...
Well, they already did 2, though.
But they did. But maybe now they're like, because there's a lot of references in this movie to a bunch of there's the Christmas special referenced. There's like one of the shows referenced. So maybe since
the racers to something or other.
Yeah. So maybe since they had so many references, they were going to just connect it, like do the naming convention as of the shows versus the other 2 movies.
But
I don't like
that though, because I don't think a lot of people. I don't think as many people that watch the movie are watching the show.
No, I'll admit.
Yeah, I've not seen.
I've maybe seen like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Like
back when I had Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Like that's when.
I mean, now like Netflix has like 4 different.
Yeah, they got like 17 series on there, and it's just like.
Okay, that's a little intimidating to start watching.
Well, yeah, because they have like 5 seasons each in there, and you're like, Lord.
I was like, I don't know how to start this.
But I mean, if you think about it, you're like, well, this has been going since
09.
So it's like, oh yeah, I mean, it does make sense that they would have all of these extra things.
So, but no, I agree. The naming can all of a sudden, I'm very much a cohesion type of person with my series. So when you start changing up how you do it, I don't like it too much.
You guys ready for the synopsis for How to Train Your Dragon 3?
Here's
the first. I've been waiting all morning.
The first IMDb synopsis. When Hiccup discovers Toothless isn't the only Night Fury, he must seek the Hidden World, a secret dragon utopia, before a hired tyrant named Grimmel finds it first. Well, I mean...
That's kind of flawed, because Grimmel's technically
Grimmel's not
looking.
really looking for that. Okay, so let's read the next one. As Hiccup fulfills his dream of creating a peaceful dragon utopia, Toothless Toothless. Wow, this is not written right. As Hiccup, I'm gonna change this. As Hiccup fulfills his dream of creating a peaceful dragon utopia, Toothless discovers an untamed, elusive mate and this is just...
Skip it.
When Toothless gets drawn away by a sudden and inexplicable appearance of a female light fury, technically it's a night fury called the Light Fury by Astrid, but whatever, and a new threat finds... No, I don't like any of these. Forget it. So, yeah. Let's see. So what's the plot?
Hiccup is trying to build a dragon utopia on Berk.
But there's...
Things do not go according to plan. They have to evacuate. And all of a sudden, Toothless is in danger.
Mm-hmm. And he's getting a bit randy.
Maybe
it happens. It happens. All right, so same cast. We still have Jay Baruchel as Hiccup, American Ferrera as Astrid, Kate Blanchett as Volca, Gerard Butler returns as Stoic for some very tearful scenes.
Good use of foreshadowing with Stoic.
Yes, very good. It's really, really good. Jonah Hill as Snotlot, Christopher Mintz plays as Fishlegs.
They bring in Justin Ruppel.
Yep, Justin Ruppel as Tough Nut replaces T.J. Miller.
Because T.J. Miller got into a spot of trouble last year.
A bit. Kristen Wiig as Rough Nut, and Kit Harington, Eret, son of Eret.
That cracked me up. Eret, son of Eret.
And then we get introduced to F. Murray Abraham as
our
Grimmel.
Undistinguishable accented villain.
Yes, he's like what's his face in those James Bond movies. I don't know. I don't watch them. The one guy, the bad one.
Which one?
I don't know.
There's a different one for every Bond.
I don't know. I don't pay attention. I don't watch them.
I'm with Josh. Bond is boring.
I see, and I enjoy the Bond films, but I like a little spy. Spy thriller.
Yeah.
He's like a combination of like Christoph Waltz.
He's like a weird...
And Mads Mikkelsen. It's like if you take those two voices and blended them together.
And then would like come up with no discernible accent. That's what you have
But
as
that might be the
Grimmel.
thing too for him. That notice like you don't know where he's from.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him dangerous. Maybe. I don't know.
He's from the other hidden world.
Yeah. Merrick, Pennsylvania. I will say, well, not to brag, I've been working on my Jay Baruchel.
Oh, have you?
I've been working on my Jay Baruchel
Woo us, Josh.
impression.
Woo us a Hiccup.
I've decided to only go for one word and practice that one word all week.
What word?
Dragons. So, here we go. Jay Baruchel.
Do it.
Saying dragons. Dragons. How's that? Is that good?
Yes.
Okay. I was just driving in the car. I'd just be like, dragons.
You know,
dragons.
I do love
dragons.
that part of the movie where like Tough Nut, like all of a sudden Tough Nut has decided he's going to be best man come hell or high water, and he's like, you need to stop with the voice and the honking.
Yeah, like this goose honk. I can't be hearing that all night, and I'm just like, dang, bro. Like they gave Tough Nut some
lines.
He got some lines this
some
movie.
lines. It's like, what's with that limp? No one wants to be with the person. It's like, I have a prosthetic leg and I
have
got
a parasitic sister, but you don't see me limping around. It's so good. A lot more humor.
He got the best lines.
Yeah,
like the best funny lines. I do think that Tough Nut got the best funny lines.
It's like my beautiful, magnificent beard.
My man beard.
Well, this was definitely
amazing.
Rough Nut and Tough Nut. Like they were so good in this movie.
Rough Nut captured by Grimmel. I want to know how many times Kristen Wiig had to do that scene. Because she just goes.
They probably just were like, all right, Kristen, can you just talk for a while? It's like, okay. And she just went.
We'll tell you when to stop.
It's like that
Patton filled like an hour, and then they just clipped out the best bits of that hour.
Yeah, it's like in Parks and Rec where Patton Oswalt went that whole entire thing about Star Wars.
Oh, where he was doing the filibuster?
Yeah, where he was just doing the filibuster, and then they cut it down to like 5 minutes. It's probably what they did with her. They were just like, just go. Just do a thing.
It's like, this is kind of what's like, you know what all the characters have kind of been doing and been up to, so just like go riff on all the characters.
my mom used to chew my own food, and she told me I had to chew my own food. And she was like, you're 12. And I was like, no. So good, man. Oh, gosh, she was so good in that movie.
She was so good.
All right, so.
How do we want to do this?
Gavin, how do you want to do this? You're the guest.
Should we start with what we all thought about the movie? Because I hear there's a difference of opinions.
Yeah, there may be a difference in opinions.
Yeah. Do first impressions, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Josh?
I thought this was a good end. It does kind of leave it open a little bit if they do want to go back to it, because which would be cool, because I mean, almost do it like the same thing with how they're doing like the Lion Guard at Disney, where it's like Simba's like kid, so it's like kids like 17 times removed type of thing. So you can kind of bring that in, and maybe those two, Hiccup and Astrid's kids. I don't know their names, so we're gonna go with Ingrid and Burp.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Ingrid and Burp.
You can go with Ingrid.
I'm gonna go with Ingrid and Burp.
I'm gonna go with daughter and son.
Blonde Coon and Red Hair Chan.
They kind of looked like Anna and Kristoff a little bit to me.
Well, we're not gonna call them Anna and Kristoff.
Okay.
But no, they kind of did.
Yeah, when they came out, I was like, oh, are they trying to reference Frozen, or is this just a coincidence?
Well, the fandoms would not be unhappy with that.
No,
right?
Yeah. Everybody puts them together.
Everybody puts, is it Tangled, Frozen, Rise of the Guardians, and How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah,
all together.
it's like it's like the Thing.
Yeah. Oh, and Brave.
And Brave, yeah.
No,
yeah, they throw
it's
in
all
Brave.
right. You don't have to.
They throw in
Brave
Merida.
is awesome. Shut up, John.
No,
She's
it's
like,
not good.
Like she's like been made into.
I mean, I get that.
Hiccup's
I get that
gay
they
best friend.
That's amazing. Is it because she's Scottish? Is that why Merida gets included? They're just like, throw somebody Scottish in there. There's only like one person who's
and
Scottish.
She's like a good foil to Hiccup. She's a good foil to Hiccup.
She fed a tart to her mom. Gavin.
Dude, she's a master archer and horse rider. She's great.
Is she a master archer?
Can you do what
she can
she
climb
does?
cliffs in a full dress.
I mean, yeah. Here's the thing. I bet I could be a master archer if I was born in whatever place that was, and I did nothing but archery all day.
That was because she's surrounded by
about that.
dudes born in the same time period who are supposedly master archers.
Well, here's the thing, though.
She can outshoot every.
You were asking.
We're going to fight about.
You
this.
were asking me. I'm not those people. This is Josh. And I can't podcast.
Born in the
I can't
20th
podcast
century.
Yeah, I can't podcast now. Then, so I have to have something better. So I would probably take up archery.
You could be the town crier.
No. Oh yeah.
Introducing to the court.
Oh no, I would be more like
the jester.
No. What was his name? What's his name? He's in Iron Man. He was Geoffrey Chaucer in.
Jarvis?
Paul Bentley? Is that his name?
Jarvis?
Bettany.
Paul Bettany. When he was Geoffrey Chaucer
the
in A Knight's
robot
Tale.
Butler?
Yeah, when he was
just the
Geoffrey
hype man
Chaucer.
for the night?
Yeah, exactly. He'd be like, ladies and gentlemen, the entire time.
We've gone so off topic again.
It's
like, welcome to the podcast with Hanna and Gavin and Josh.
Yeah.
Where all the tangents happen all the time.
So K-pop.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole
No,
quite yet.
that'll be the K-pop corner.
Yeah.
So I thought it was good. I thought it was a good ending. Where they can bring it back if they need to. But I thought it kind of ended Hiccup and Toothless story, and I like that. I like what they did. I like the execution. I want to see more stuff on Newburgh, where it's not just, hill. I mean, where
covered
it's just
in
like
snow?
Yeah.
All right, so overall, you really enjoyed the movie?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
What about you, Hannah? We'll leave somebody for last.
Okay, so there were some like intrinsic issues that I had with this movie, kind of like How to Train Your Dragon 2, where there were certain things that happened in the story for me that I might not have been the biggest of fans of. Still kind of predictable, because the last one had foreshadowing in it. This one had foreshadowing in it.
Foreshadowings.
4. Lots of it. And but I loved what they ended up doing with the characters, how they decided to end the series but kind of still leave it open for like maybe in a few years, hop, skip, jump into the future, do a new story kind of thing. I liked that, but overall I did enjoy this movie. Did I need it necessarily? No, because I was actually really happy where the second one had left us. So I saw like a news article on Facebook saying that this was the unnecessary ending to How to Train Your Dragon. It's like, I'm glad I got to see one more movie filled with these beautiful dragons. But did I need it? No, but I'm happy that I got it.
Were they saying it was unnecessary because 2 was enough, or because it was unnecessary to end it because they could tell more stories if they didn't end it this way?
Kind of both. They were
Okay.
kind of going down, it's like 2 was like a really good, was still such a good movie that they didn't need to continue it, but they kind of still left it open, so technically you could consider it not the end.
Right.
And that it's still kind of open-ended kind of thing.
Well, see, it was one of those, like, I didn't think that 2 ended enough to where it couldn't warrant a third one. Because it's just like, well, now you have all these dragons, like, on this thing, and that's just kind of how it ended.
But see, I was fine if they didn't go into another movie, though. Because that story, for me, was still satisfying enough.
Yeah, I can see that.
As, like, a chapter end, I suppose. That if they didn't give me another movie, I'd still be happy with the movie that they gave me.
Yeah, I can see that. Now, Gavin, what did you think?
I gotta be honest, kids. This one disappointed me a little bit. I had very high hopes for it, and didn't come out of the theater as thrilled as I had hoped I would be, based on the fact that I, as attested from the last podcast, I totally loved the first 2. Gave them both 5 out of 5. And this one, okay, so like on the animation level, I thought they animated it wonderfully. Like, they made another step forward in how well it was all animated. But artistically, it just felt so dark, and it was just so heavy on battle. And I felt like it lacked story. It's weird for me to be in this position because I'm usually not the story guy, but I feel like it was kind of like 2 events, and it was just all about that. And I don't know. The story kind of fell flat for me. I agree that a lot of the humor was added to this one. That was great. A lot of those one-liners from Rough and Tough were fan-freaking-tastic. But I don't know. It starts out very dark, and I think most of the tone is set by that very first scene that you see. And I don't know. It just didn't have the bright, really fanciful and whimsical feel that the other 2 movies did for me. And so that kind of, I don't know, I guess it just kind of disappointed me on that level. Now, I did fall into the trap that I very often fall into the first time I watch an animated movie, and that is where I'm just totally consumed by the visuals, and I kind of don't pay attention to what's going on. So I do admit that I need to rewatch this, and I intend to, because I really do love this franchise, and I didn't hate my movie experience. I was just not as excited as I wanted to be. So I want to watch it again and really pay attention to the story and what's going on, to see, you know, what things I know that I missed. But then also, like, at the end, I don't know, I logically it makes sense to end the story that way, but I guess it's not the story ending that I wanted. I kind of wanted this human and dragon utopia to work out. You know, I wanted everybody to live in peace together and have this symbiotic relationship that they were building toward. And so to me, it's kind of like a huge letdown to be like, oh, well, we tried, but that didn't work. See you later. You know, I don't know. I didn't really like that.
Well, I mean, there is the like the after bit where like the voiceover that Hiccup does, where he's saying that like we'll be here, like they're guarding the secret of the dragons.
Sure.
So like they still know. So like the people of Berk still are guarding everything until the day when it can actually happen. So I mean,
that's a good take. Yeah.
Well, and it's like, what did Hiccup say? It's like, we don't deserve dragons.
Oh, no.
Because humans are rubbish. Even in the 21st century, humans are rubbish.
That's why we don't have dragons now.
That's why we don't have
still
dragons.
Being hidden.
Yeah.
I agree with all that, and I think that's my problem, is that I feel like they brought too much reality in. You know, it's like...
Oh, because it's a kids' movie,
like
they brought
almost
too
like
much.
they're making stories about, like, you know, how we can't get along in today's world, and, you know, war is an ever-present thing, and the only way that anybody can solve anything is just to literally go their separate ways. And I don't know, I thought that was a little too sad for me. Because we're living in a fantasy world here, right? I want them to build
that fantasy utopia
solution. Yeah. I do.
Because that was one of the things, because as I'm watching the movie, I totally know, like, when they talk about, like, letting the loved one that we have go, and that it is better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all, essentially, basically, is what Stoic is telling Hiccup in one of the flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, okay, so the dragons are going to leave. And I didn't want, because they're my boys. I mean, it's like Hiccup and Toothless are, like, intrinsic to each other.
Right.
And I guess that's, like, part of, like, what they were trying to hope to say is that both could be amazing on their own and they didn't have to be a partnership, like, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I do agree. It's like where you have, like, Zootopia is, like, one of the best movies that about race that's not about race.
Right.
And it's like Up is the greatest, like, dialogue about dogs that's a movie that's not even about dogs. And this is a movie that I think was trying to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't get, like, the Utopia ending, I think.
Right.
Because it's like, logically,
well, I think trying to
real
do that
worlds, we're not going to get to have the dragons.
Right.
But ideally, my little nerd heart wants there to be dragons.
Right.
You know?
But I think trying to make your social statement in the third installment of a trilogy, I don't know, it all felt kind of out of place to me.
Yeah. I mean, I like a darker tone to a movie because they're older, they're living in a kind of increasingly, like, hostile world, I suppose, because people don't want them to have this utopia.
Yeah.
And so, like, the darker tone for me kind of fell in place with this third movie. It didn't the dark, like, starting out with the darker tone really didn't bother me too much.
It makes sense. I mean, that's kind of the progression of things, and I understood those choices. Just personally, I like bright, happy colors, and I didn't get that in this film.
Yeah, because the first two are just full of just saturated colors, and there is, with the exception of, like, the hidden world, there is a distinct lack of all of the colors. Or, like, that first bit where we're at Burke before we leave, and then when we're in the hidden world with all the dragons.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Yeah. You guys took too much from this freaking movie, guys. I was just like, this is going to be the end of it. I like, Gavin is correct. There's really 2 plot points in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Which is, you know,
find the hidden world.
Find the hit. Like, we
Grandma
have
wants to kill Toothless.
Well, okay. I guess there's 3.
3 then.
There's 3 because Toothless wants to bang. Grimmel wants to kill Toothless, and Hiccup wants to find the hidden world. So yeah, we've got 3 main plot points the entire movie.
Yeah.
Which I thought was fine. Because, I mean, I wasn't expecting it to, you know, rewrite anything.
Yeah, like, be really revolutionary.
I mean, because, like, if we talk about it, I mean, this is like Star Wars, like, Return of the Jedi has the exact same thing.
Pretty much.
It's like, it has, like, two plots.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like, I think a lot of, like, third
yeah, exactly. Like,
has that.
Like, this is the thing. I mean, we can go to something newer. If you go to freaking Hunger Games, like, 1 in Mockingjay Part 2, it's like
I still haven't.
There's
seen
like well, I mean, but in the book even like just like 1.
Destroy the Capitol.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is.
So, like, for me, I don't know. It's like, this is still one of those movies where I'm gonna, like, be really excited to watch again, but it's not gonna be, like, of the 3, it's not gonna be my first choice.
Yeah,
or
I think
certain scenes I'm gonna want to watch rather than, like, the whole movie, like, all the time.
I think it's clearly the third best / worst of the trilogy.
It's still really good, but it's just, for me, it's not on par with, like, the first one. That
first one's hard to beat.
It is.
That first one's just hard to beat.
I agree.
I mean, yeah, I liked. I'm still going with I liked it. I mean,
I am too.
That's awesome, man.
I thought it was good.
I fully allow this one to win me over. Like, it's happened to me so many times where I watch a movie and I'm just looking at, the pretty little tree that they designed in the corner of the screen over here, and there's like a major plot point happening in the center of the screen, and I totally miss it, and so I'm like, that movie wasn't that good. So when I rewatch these types of movies, I start to really get, what's going on. So I'm fully expecting to enjoy it more once you can totally hear the Rem dog has
little Remulus.
awakened.
I was like, you can hear Remy.
So on subsequent rewatchings, I'm sure my rating of this will go up.
Yeah.
But I can only speak to my first impression at this point.
Right.
And
you have gone to see it
I've
twice.
seen it twice now.
Yeah.
And you both have
nice.
seen it once. Yeah. I just got to see it.
Cool.
Mine was lucky because I got to see it.
Second?
Like the second of February.
Day.
So
Yeah.
I've had weeks to go and process.
Yeah. And I saw it
True.
just last night. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if anybody else, but when Astrid and Hiccup were getting married at the end, and the priestess was standing there with the cloth, I go, they're going to do a hand fasting ceremony.
Yep, they did. Yeah, it was really good. It was. I was really like the first time I saw that, I was just sitting there, and then because when we were talking about all the Viking stuff, and so I'm just like, oh, well, Hannah's gonna. I was like, oh, she's gonna love this thing. She's gonna love it.
The cloth in their hand. I go.
Yep.
I think I sat forward, and I'd been into the whole movie the whole time, but this was the time I think I leaned forward, and I was like, they're gonna do a hand fasting ceremony, and then she wraps the cloth around their hands, and I go, I shouldn't be nerding out at this scene, but I'm nerding out at this scene.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of an interesting plot point, though. Like, they kept trying to shoehorn in this issue of, why haven't you gotten married yet? It's like, I think that was a waste of time, kind of. Like, the ceremony was beautiful, but it's like, they should have opened this movie with, oh, yeah, they're married now, and blah, blah, blah. Like, it just seemed like a distraction to me.
Well, it's like, to me, though, it was one of those, they had to do this because to show that Hiccup and Astrid... Hiccup and Astrid weren't ready yet because Hiccup still had this connection to Toothless.
Or he
and
still
he
had
didn't
the
want
hang-up.
Exactly, so he didn't want to do anything. That's what was kind of causing them to not do this. And then once Toothless is gone, and Hiccup's just with Astrid...
Well, it's that good point
it's
that
just
Volka and Astrid talk about. That is he feels like he's not worth anything without Toothless. And so I do feel like that was something important for Hiccup's character, is for Toothless to kind of move on with his life, so then Hiccup can move on with his life.
Exactly. So you had to separate the two in order for them to actually do what they needed to do. For Hiccup to become chief with Astrid. Even though he's chief in name, but he's also
super young.
Yes, still super young, 21 at this point, because only a year has gone by.
Bachelor chiefs have less power.
Exactly, and with Toothless,
especially in Viking culture.
Oh yeah, and then with Toothless, Toothless has to go and he has to, be
repopulate the Night Fury population.
Exactly. But if we think about it, it's there's a lot of weird things going in there. It becomes a English monarchy at some point.
No, would I have loved the movie to started with that wedding ceremony, at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah, that would make sense.
That light and bright and colorful kind of start, and then his first move as real chieftain, be okay, so this is what we got to do to protect our way of life. There could have been a slight restructuring, I think, of the story.
Well, if we think about it,
their honeymoon could have been that first rescue mission, and they could have made all kinds of jokes about
that totally would have worked with them.
You know what I mean?
Well, if we're thinking about it in the guise of the story, everything is dark at the beginning. So everything is dark. So. But then with the marriage and Toothless leaving and everything, then it becomes lighter. So if we can kind of think
that progression of color.
Exactly. So you can kind of think of it like that. We're we literally start in darkness, and then where we end is our characters riding off into the sunset. So we literally have a night into day.
That's a good point.
Type of
I can
like
see that.
story element that is going on.
Like, can you imagine how many like cuts and edits that they did trying to figure?
Probably tons.
Yeah, I'd love to sit in with like a storyboard meeting sometimes about these movies I really enjoy, just to see like the progression of how they decided how to put things in the order.
Hey, DreamWorks, give us a call.
Well, it's been finished technically for 85 days, so they've been sitting on this for a while.
Interestingly enough, one of the original plot points that Spielberg himself edited out was they were going to redeem Bloodfist in this movie. They were originally going to bring him back and redeem him, kind of like they did with Eret in the first one, or in the second one. And they totally edited that out because Spielberg felt like it needed to take up more screen time than they were going to be able to give it.
Okay, yeah.
So that's a huge plot point to take out. And I'm sure many other things happened along the way.
Right.
But, it's been how many years in the making? Like 5? Something like that?
2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think they started this one until... Well, yeah, I think they started it right around the same time they wrapped the other one.
Yeah,
so yeah, I mean, they've had a long time to kind of
almost
revise.
Yeah. Write and probably rewrite and do another rewrite, probably.
Yeah, because it was originally scheduled to come out in 2016.
Yeah.
And pushed it back like 2.5 years to come out when it did. So, yeah, I agree. It'd be interesting to hear some of those revision meetings.
Yeah.
And I personally, I like the darker aspect.
I mean, I'm never going to say I don't like the darker aspect. I love darker stories, but
yeah,
that's me.
I would be fine with it if I felt like it was more in keeping with the other two movies, you know?
Since
like
the first two are
a movie
so
like
light, yeah.
9 is totally dark, and I really
absolutely.
enjoyed it, you know? And
that also takes place at night.
Kind of. There are other
apocalyptic night where there's really no sun.
Exactly, it's just like night all the time.
Yeah. And there are other examples of dark animated things that I really like, but this one, it just seemed so different than the other two movies for me that's where I kind of felt like, oh, this doesn't really fit.
There is like a huge tone shift.
Right.
Like starting out for this movie. Yeah. Agreed.
We talked earlier about the idea of a possible open ending and, possible other things. I really hope that they don't add to this franchise from this point, because I think a trilogy is really the limit of what we should be trying to do in animation. If you're going to tell long story arcs, then you need to go into a television series.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the movie franchise vehicle is right for many movies. And we're looking at you, Land Before Time.
I don't know. You say that, but they did like 12 of those things. They all made money
they
somehow.
Were all bad after the first one.
Really? You haven't even seen them.
I'm not talking about whether or not they can make money. That's the sad truth of it. Is if they can make money, they'll do another one.
Obviously,
we're looking at you, Toy Story 4
and Frozen 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but
Incredibles
I'm talking
2.
about quality. Like they shouldn't artistically want to do it. No, I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2, but not 3.
I was waiting for Gavin to interject right there because he's going to defend those movies.
Planes. No, Gavin loves planes.
My nephew really enjoys
He loves
that
planes
one.
more than he loves cars.
Planes, Fire, and Rescue was awesome.
That's actually
Planes was
quite
pretty good, but Planes, Fire, and Rescue was awesome.
Yeah,
I like that better than Cars 2.
Yeah, Fire and Rescue is actually really good.
Really
I watched
good.
that with my nephew, and I really enjoyed that one.
Dusty Cropphopper's my boy.
God, nerds.
No, but
Takes one to know one, buddy.
it's like they've already set up the world though in the TV shows on Netflix.
Yes.
So they've already have that avenue to continue telling stories through
Right.
like their TV shows. But yeah, I agree. I kind of hope they don't do another movie.
Oh yeah, no, I hope no movies.
Because I left How to Train Your Dragon 3,
How to Train Your 3-Year-Old.
How to Train Your 3-Year-Old, with the same feeling when I left Toy Story 3. I was like, okay, the story's done. I can say goodbye to these characters, and there's resolution, and I feel good with where the story's ended. And now they're throwing Toy Story 4 at me, and I will probably not go see it because I'm having all kinds of problems.
Well, I need somebody to go see the darn thing with me so I can do a stupid episode on the thing.
I'll do it.
The same thing with Frozen 2. I need somebody else to go see that movie with me.
I'll do it.
I say this. I will probably end up seeing both of these. Do we want to be seeing these movies? Probably. that is.
We'll
that
supplement
is
that with the Shazam episode, Hannah. We'll do a Shazam episode.
We need to do an Alita Battle Angel episode.
Oh my gosh, I saw Alita.
Oh, you did?
It's so good, bro. It's so good.
Nice.
I need to see that.
I want to see
That's
it.
my plan for this week.
It is.
If I have a day.
I still got to see Lego Movie 2, but then I'm going to see Alita after that.
You can go see Alita first.
I'm going to see Lego Movie 2 first.
Well, in all honesty, you can go see Alita first.
I hear what you're saying, brother. I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to go see Lego Movie 2.
I mean, you go do that, bro. You do you.
I would always do the thing, if it came out first, I'd have to go see that one first, though. Even if,
But I don't know if I'm going to see Shazam here. I think I may go to the Warren.
That makes sense.
Because
I'm hoping by the time that movie comes out,
tired.
the new one's open in Midwest City.
It won't be.
I want it to be.
Oh yeah, it won't be open by the end of April.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, no.
I'm hoping. Fingers are crossed. But no, it's like, if they don't make another one, I'm totally fine.
Yeah, like that's why I'm like, if they decide to do a series later, they can do a series later, but as a series, but not as a movie.
Not as a movie, no, because I've said my goodbye to the end of that story.
I may age up, Burp and Ingrid just a little bit.
Like for the show.
Yeah, for the show.
Well,
I wouldn't make them 4 because that's a little bit too much.
I know,
that's a little
like,
bit too.
I know,
make them Astrid and Hiccup's age, so maybe make them like that. Well, because we maybe like that 12 range.
Yeah, well, 12 is always a good start to start a new series with.
Exactly.
Make
a series of books.
Many series of books.
Throw the Greek gods in there, and it'll be great.
Or
maybe
magic.
Maybe his name is maybe it's Percy and Annabeth.
Full circle.
Full circle here. No, there are a lot of things though. I know I've sounded kind of negative, but there are a lot of things that I still love.
Yeah, no, you both sounded horribly negative.
I still really because I loved all of the stuff with Snotlout trying to get in with Volca.
Trying to get in with his mom.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, I forgot
to
about
me.
that.
That was just
funny.
weird.
And then him trying to climbing up on the barrel just to be the same height as Eret, and he's just like, "Listen, you, just because you're built like a Greek god or Norse god, a Norse god doesn't mean anything. Yeah. I'm number 2, and when Hiccup's out, I'm number 1."
I did like that David Tennant had more lines in this movie than he had in the previous 2 movies. However, it was not his character that he normally voices who has these lines. He plays another character. He plays one of those bad Viking men.
Yeah.
Whose name I believe is Ivor, which
Probably.
is convenient.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's that. I'm sitting there because he's the first person we hear.
Yeah.
Is David Tennant? And I'm like, oh, David Tennant.
Hi,
Wait
David.
a sec, you're supposed to be.
Well, it's like I loved.
But I like it. He was probably just like, guys, if I'm gonna be in this one, you gotta give me more than humph.
Yeah.
Like I did in 2.
No, I loved in Craig Ferguson as Gobber. Who called him being best man at the wedding? I called it.
I was still waiting for Tough Nut. He gave some really sound sage advice.
Yep.
Some of it was a bit dirty, but I loved it. That's how you know you got a good best man.
Good best man.
Yeah.
No, I knew it was gonna be Gobber.
Oh my gosh, is there gonna be like a How to Train Your Hangover type scenario, like How to Train Your Bachelor Party?
If Rough Nut has his way.
That would be amazing.
Or Tough. If Tough has his way. Sorry.
No, Rough Nut.
Oh, Rough Nut, yes.
I want to see
a short film.
I want to see How to Train Your Bridesmaids and How to Train Your How to Train Your Bachelor Party. Those 2 movies I want to see. Because if we think about it, it's
There's probably already fan fictions for that.
Oh yeah, no, there probably is. The female characters we have. If we think about it, it's going to be Volca, Tough, Rough Nut, and Astrid, and that's going to be the Bachelorette party. That's going to be amazing.
I love Astrid in this movie too.
She's so great.
She's such a good character.
Volca's good in this movie too. Because she's not in it that much, but when she's in it, she's in it.
And I like that just because she's back, she hasn't immediately tried to smother Hiccup because she hasn't seen him in so long.
They don't really have any scenes together.
No, she's
more with Astrid.
But she knows that Astrid would be able to get through to her son rather than she would be able to get through to her son. So I love those scenes where she's just like building Astrid up in preparing her to support her son.
Yeah.
Because she knows that she's not in the position to do that because she's been absent for so long.
I mean, and as the former wife to a village chief, she knows exactly how that's going to go.
So I love those mentoring scenes between Valka and Astrid.
Hey, tell Liam to be quiet. We can hear him over here yapping about Pepsi.
We're totally fine with, like...
I'm just kidding.
Remy, but...
Yeah. Brittany and Remy are fine, but the other one just needs to kind of chill.
That's hilarious.
But there is so much of this movie. Like, I think probably for me, what I love the absolute most were all the character interactions. Like how Eretz kind of becomes second in command for Hiccup. He's just slipped into this position because he's the only other, like, reliable, intelligent-ish person that Hiccup could probably rely on because...
Yeah.
I don't know if Fish Legs could be that, or Snot Loud.
Fish Legs is smart, Snot Loud is small, and then Tough is just kind of there. It's like, you guys go get him.
Right.
It's like, what are you guys standing around for? Go for it.
I love Tough with his beard.
Oh,
like, just taking his
beard,
braids.
quote unquote.
I was just like, man, if they made one of those, because you know how they make those, like, knit, like, beard things. It's like, make one of those, but make it like the pigtail things that I could tie
like
into a bow.
A beanie.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then it's the hair that hangs
maybe
down.
That'll be the next ASP thing that we make. We'll make one of those so you could tie these braids into a. That was good. I love that. I was thinking like that would be a fun cosplay to like take those and just like tie them.
Well, and I will admit I was kind of obsessed with Ruff's hair the whole time.
Oh, she was good.
Yeah,
like, it looked really good. Like the braids.
Yeah, kind of down off to one side. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me.
And then they were dragons.
Yeah, they were dragons. The characters in this movie. I was just like, yeah, I've got a long face, but you have a long face. There are so many things. Like, a lot of the characters, for me, like, I think that's probably why I would still give it a decently high rating because of all of the characters and like their designs and how you can still it's only been a year, but you can still see that they've aged them a little bit.
Astrid gets new hairdo.
They all have.
Yeah, they all have new hairdo. They all have
new hairdo.
Dope armor now, not just
the
Hiccup.
Dragon armor. Yeah. I see now. That's what I would want to cosplay.
Oh no, yeah. Like when you do it, you do it with the dragon armor.
That's what I.
Because then there's no point if you don't do it.
Yeah,
with the
and like
armor.
the whole hidden world, where like the blacklight scene, where Stormfly just kind of lights up.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, and all the babies. Mm-hmm. All the little babies in the eggs.
They also did a thing where it was like, I don't remember us seeing any kids the first two movies. Like, 0 children.
Well, because all the dragons.
Yeah. Well, the first one, that makes sense. The second one, though, is like, they were already friends with dragons. They were playing
There's a lot
Quidditch.
of kids in this one.
There's like tons of kids. Like
especially at the wedding.
When they're at the wedding, I'm just like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 20 kids here.
But they're all the same.
Yes, they were all the same.
They were all the same.
Except for that little blonde one. Like it looked like there were definitely kids that were from the series.
Yeah.
Because like you could tell the ones that had different types of hairstyles and everything. Like that one little blonde kid at the very beginning where Snotlout like puts his helmet on him. I'm like, I think he's in the series.
Probably.
You saw that girl that had like the side braids out that kind of looks like the girl from Avatar.
Oh, yeah.
That one, there was a girl like that, and I was like, okay, you must be from the thing. Because then the other kids, I was just like, okay, yeah, you guys are just like generic children.
Yeah.
That would be smart to include characters from that. But I don't think any of us is familiar enough with the show to really confirm that.
The reference of when Hiccup was making Toothless the new dorsal fins, he was, Astrid said the line, "You've already tried that once and he didn't like it." That's from the winter special, where he, like, for Christmas, Hiccup makes him new tail fins.
Oh, I didn't know that was such a thing.
Saturnalia.
Yeah, that's what's I don't think they were celebrating Christmas.
Saturnalia. So, but or the winter special. The winter
solstice episode.
Yeah. Supposedly, like, Hiccup makes Toothless a new tail, and, like, Toothless, like, freaks out and he doesn't want it. So that's what, like, in that scene, that's what she's referencing.
God, do I need to start watching those now?
After watching this movie, I'm like, I think I might need to watch these stupid shows now because I want to understand all the references.
There's like 30 episodes.
There's a lot.
And I gotta
And
try.
there's, like,
I gotta try
3
and watch
different
Game
shows.
of Thrones before.
Oh, that's right, because it's coming back.
Well, see, I don't think I'm gonna want. I think
You can see Kit Harington in another role.
Exactly. I'll be like, Aerith, son of Aerith. Aerith, son of Snow.
Aerith, son of Snow. No.
Can I get a picture of Jon Snow and have Kit Harington sign it as Aerith, son of Aerith, please?
That would be hilarious. He would probably love that.
He's like, can you sign this as Aerith, son of Aerith?
He
Or
would-
go to a Game of Thrones, because like they have those like the Con of Thrones.
Yeah.
Go to Con of Thrones when Kit Harington's going to be there and take a picture of Aerith, son
Make
of
a
Aerith.
sign. Aerith, son of Aerith.
But no, I think Gavin and I had talked. Gavin, I want to commission that 24 Aerith gold. Gavin made the best joke. 24 Aerith gold. And I'm like, Gavin.
As if he had business cards.
Yes. I'm like, I want you to do that. and I want that made. And I want to commission it from you now.
With gold text.
Well, like, cause like you could do like gold for his little
his facial
his facial markings
tattoos.
and his little stuff that I'm just like, give me 24 Aerith
See,
gold.
now
please.
I'm not like super familiar with a lot of I'm familiar with like a lot of like Norse mythology and some Viking culture. So like I want to know where the facial tattoos like originate from, because I know not a lot of Native American tribes.
That's like a slavery type.
Yeah, because a lot of the Native American tribes would do the facial tattoos as designation of where your place would be within the tribe. So I
wonder if Aerith's like that too.
Yeah, so like I wonder.
I honestly didn't necessarily translate those as tattoos. I think in my mind it interpreted as paint. Like war paint.
Okay.
Well, he has it on just all the
la
time, though.
Braveheart. Well, because he's always ready, man. He's always ready to go.
You're right. Aerith, son of Aerith, is
I don't
always
know. Maybe it's because
ready
I
for a
translated
challenge.
it into the culture that I was thinking, oh, those might be like
I mean,
tattoos.
it may
Sure,
be. It may
sure.
be. So
Because
this is
he
why,
was-
hey,
he was a-
DreamWorks,
he was
give
a
us a call.
He was a dragon trader, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would, for me, part of that, because he'd seen a lot of the world, so I wondered if that would kind of correlate into maybe a place that he had lived for a while. I'm curious, but I usually
are all
I
not
get into
theories I've killed.
existentialism in these stuff like so easy, because especially with a show like How to Train Your Dragon that's so heavy in a particular country's culture that I'm always asking questions.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit obsessed with like Viking and Greek and Roman
Mythos.
cultures. So I mean, for me, like I do.
That's why you
readings.
should play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because it is literally like Greeked the crap out of.
Yeah,
and
I love that
love
stuff
it.
because it's like I was because I nerded out because they just discovered this new Viking tomb. And it's a warrior tomb, and it's actually changed a lot of how we view Viking culture.
Did it have dragons?
No, not yet. Not yet. But like a lot of the warriors were women, actually, more so than men.
Well, I mean,
Which, if you look at How to Train Your Dragon,
that, and
makes sense.
if we think about like Valkyries and everything like
Yeah.
that, like there's a huge
They would
part
escort
of
you had to be a fierce warrior in life to become a Valkyrie, and then Valkyries would then escort heroes to Valhalla after
shout out
death.
to Valhalla.
Yeah.
Volcor. Never mind.
Sorry. Nerd Mythos Corner for a hot second. Sorry.
We should just.
So, like, a lot of it's like I had a friend actually. It's like, you're on your friend's podcast all the time. Why don't you make a mythology podcast? I go, I'm not a licensed professional to talk about that. I just read a lot.
That's what the Patreon is for, Hannah.
Hey.
Be sure and donate to our Patreon, and you can buy us a. Isn't like that's the cup of coffee type thing? Isn't there one of those? Isn't that a thing too that people can do? Like it's like coffee or something. Anyway,
I'm
just
not
be sure and
well-versed in the
support our
world.
Patreon. That's not out yet. It'll be out one day.
One day.
We'll make it happen.
You should. Get on that, Josh.
We'll get on that.
Because you don't have anything else to do in your
Nah,
house.
I never. I do nothing all day. So, Gav, what did you think about the music? Because we kind of already talked about the animation, how it's...
Yeah, I thought it was
better.
good. It was in keeping with the rest of the series, I thought. It was a really good score. It was intense, and it felt... That was very consistent for me with the rest of the franchise. And it's really, really good. I thought it was appropriate.
It gave me Prince of Egypt.
You said that
things
for,
again. Yeah, because like I don't know what it is.
Interesting.
Whenever I hear it, I just like, oh, Prince of Egypt.
Maybe because like Prince of Egypt, like you listen to that and you like hear the cultures surrounding the Prince of Egypt, and when you watch How to Train Your Dragon, it keeps a lot in like it's very heavily drum based because that was like the predominant instrument that they had at the time. And so like you watch these movies, it makes the world more believable and like more like it's like a deeper submersion into the world because of the music. That might be why it reminds you of Prince of Egypt.
It would have been cool if we would have got like when they were like paragliding down, like if they
I want one of those.
If they would have started like if they were doing two options, either the Red Hot Chili Pepper song that they play at the beginning of the Power Rangers movie when they're all skydiving, or if they were playing Danger Zone. That would have been pretty cool.
Highway to the Danger Zone.
I'm going to say
Free
negative
falling.
on both of those.
Wait. Because we're free!
Throw out Tom Petty's Free Falling. That's my vote.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe one day. All right, so you guys ready to rate this thing?
Yeah.
All right. So Gavin, let's go ahead. Let's take your 2 first.
All right. As of now, I'm not going quite that low. I'm going to give this one a 3, and with hopes of it actually climbing to a 4 or maybe higher. But right now, I'm giving it a 3.
3 what?
Jiminy Crickets.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 moon wands. Because I had, like I said, with How to Train Your Dragon 2, there were a lot of things I had problems with. But I think they were outnumbered by the things I still liked about this movie. And this is a movie that I'm still like excited to go see again. Maybe catch a lot more things I didn't catch the first time through. So I'm still going to give it a really strong 4 out of 5.
Nice.
And again, since I've seen it twice,
Yeah. You've gotten to have a little bit more time to like ruminate on
I
it.
had 2 weeks to just sit there and think about it before I saw it again. I'm going to give this movie... I want to give it a 4.5.
What?
We're going into
I want to
a
give
points.
it a 4.5. But
Going
Do
into
it.
points.
Do it.
all right, so
Josh,
for the
do
first
it,
time,
do it.
I'm going to give this movie 5 Dipper Pines.
Whoa.
Yeah. I would
Solid
rather
fives across the board.
I would rather round up than round down.
Okay.
So, and I'm not a busta. I don't use points. So, sorry, Gav.
No, you're not.
So yeah, I'm gonna give it 5 Dipper Pines. Just because I liked it.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a nice send off. It got me touchy. Got me a bit teary.
I knew going into the theater I was going to cry many times, and I cried many times. So
See, it was weird. Like the first time I sat like there were like 0 kids.
oh, my theater was just full of kids. But
The first time.
Yeah.
There were like 0 kids.
was the theater full yesterday? On
Oh
here?
my gosh, there was.
All the kids.
They did a birthday party thing there, where there were 10 children. Parents, everybody gather around the campfire here for story time with Uncle Josh.
Josh is getting on the soapbox of parenthood.
All right, so here's the thing. I'm cool taking your kids to go see movies. Everybody can go see a movie. You'd still need to have some sort of etiquette when you go into a movie.
Yeah.
Because when you walk into a theater and you just start yelling for where you want your kids to sit, like, I get that you got 10 kids here and this person is stuck wrangling 10 children. I got that. But don't go in there and just start yelling for your people to sit places. I'm like, bro, we're literally here. And then don't take flash photography.
Whoa.
Not during the movie, thank goodness, because I would have lost it.
Yeah, I would have been like up out of my seat going, "Hey, there's a situation in the movie theater, please."
You can take one. Like, I get it's like you got 10 kids, you spend a bunch of money, you can take that one. Don't take 12. At different times, like getting up, taking the picture, getting up, taking the picture. During the previews, getting up and taking the picture. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then we're loud the entire time.
See,
and I'm just like, I get it. And like this one little girl, she was bored. Like we were like 15 minutes in and I was like, yeah, this is not the type of movie. Like,
yeah, unless this is like a series that you love and we're adults. But I can see where like the beginning of this movie, if you're a kid, would be a kind of a challenge.
Yeah.
If this isn't like your cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
If you're that
like
kid.
If you had just seen 1 and 2 like the day before and we're like, oh, I'll go see the third one.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh, okay.
Because when I went, there was a dad and he was there with 4 kids and he was in the row like right up behind me. And they started like screaming during the previews. And the dad was like, you stop that now. You make another noise, we're going to have to talk.
And I take it they stopped.
They certainly did.
That's awesome.
I don't know if you've been to Gavin knows how I love AMC Penn. They have the reclining seats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kids got bored and wanted to recline the seats the entire time, so you heard this leather and you would get the giggles from the children, and I was like,
yeah.
It made me hate it.
Josh is not amused by fart noises.
No.
Nor am
Toilet humor is the lowest class of humor, and I understand your children, but grow up. So that's just Josh. And that's the worst part about having a podcast that caters animation is
oftentimes it's catered to children.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then most children do not know how to behave appropriately in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not
especially when it's a 10-to-1 ratio. Kids.
Oh God, it was awful.
Because
that was a bad decision.
I remember going to the movie theater all the time with my mom and dad because we lived around the corner from the Dollar Theater in town, and we were on the poor side of life, so that was like perfect for our family.
Well, it's like to me, it's like when I ever went to a movie theater, it was like, oh, this is a big deal.
Yeah, it was like an event for us to go. If it might have been, because I remember us all going to go see like Emperor's New Groove and several other movies or Muppets in Space and stuff like that. Yeah, going to go see those kind of movies, but like we knew that we stayed in our seat for the entire film and we knew how to act when we got into a movie theater. So it kind of boggles my mind when I go to the movie theater now and I see these kids like, have you not taught your children how to act in a theater?
Oh, there was a kid that was like dancing during the Lego movie too, like up and was like dancing, and I was just like,
the music?
Yeah, but I'm just like, let him dance at the end. Don't let him dance in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, it kind of, that is something that is kind of like a strike against adult nerds, because we enjoy these things that often people only see children enjoying, and then we have to deal with unruly behavior while we try to enjoy
then
these
we
things.
seem like the jerks because we're just like,
we're upset with these children.
It's like, don't be upset with my kid. Be like
then
well,
teach your kid how to act.
Parent better, but
So yeah, my experience.
Josh's rant is now over.
My experience wasn't the best yesterday, but I still love the movie so much that it kind of outweighed what happened around me going to go see that movie.
Yeah, that's why it's like I loved going to the Warren because it was 21 and over up there.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
weed out.
No, yeah,
babies.
You don't read out any children. Like there's no children up there. So it's one of those where like that's why I think I'm gonna go see Shazam, because I'm like I don't want to be in a theater with like a kid being like that's better than Captain Marvel, something stupid like that, and I'm just like hit somebody in the face.
Right.
It's frowned upon to hit children, Josh, that are not yours.
Yeah, that are not yours. It's okay to hit yours, but don't hit somebody else's kid. They had a whole series on, was it ABC, called The Slap?
That's right.
Or was it CBS? I think it was ABC.
I think that was ABC. So,
Gavin, do you slap your kids?
I don't. because I don't have any.
He had to hesitate.
But
because I probably
dot.
If he did. Oh, fun times. So, anybody got anything else? Any other things that we want to talk about How to Train Your Dragon? We didn't go into like a scene by scene breakdown just because it is so new.
No,
Right.
And I feel like this movie, since it's still so fresh, if I'd seen it, like if this was like my third time seeing it, I probably could go into a breakdown of it. But it's like so many of what stuck out to me were the character interactions more so than like
Right.
the story.
agree
And
with
because
that.
it's like the story is kind of weak for this movie. So for me, what I like really took from this movie were how the characters like talked to each other and interacted with each other. So that's what.
So what you took was How to Talk to Dragons?
Or how to talk to people.
But not in the theater. Don't do that in the
Don't
movie
do it
theater.
in the theater.
Or Josh will get angry.
No, but yeah, it's for me it was more characters than it would necessarily be like the story kind of thing.
Gotcha. Gavin?
I mean, I'm good. Like, I think they ended the franchise, and I'm excited to see what DreamWorks brings us next. Because I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think they have any more sequels to anything in the pipeline. I think what we'll see next is probably going to be something new, and that gets me excited.
I agree. So, Gavin, do you got anything on Podcateers that you want to promote?
We're doing our March Mayhem tournament coming up soon. So right now we're taking submissions for everybody submitting their 8 favorite Disney characters. And then we're going to bracket-style tournament, eliminate them like March Madness. And it's going to be all kinds of fun. So jump in the game. Just go to podcateers.com for more information.
I just thought of something that we could do, Hannah.
What?
We can do March Sadness, where we'll do March Sadness, and what it'll be is it'll be the top character deaths in animation, and we'll do a bracket of 16, and we'll whittle it down.
Oh gosh,
That'll be March Sadness. Wait, or is it March? Or is it still February?
It's still February.
Okay, yeah. So
a few more days.
We still got time.
Friday's the 1st of March.
All right. So for
there you
March Sadness,
That's
Mace
hilarious.
go. That's gonna be your new
That
bro
was
now, isn't it?
that one time Goku died, and then the other time Goku
I
died, and then the other
all
time
of mine are
Goku died.
various Sailor Moon characters.
That one time when all the Sailor Scouts died at one episode.
Yeah, Josh was just like, "Did they seriously all just die?" I go, "Yeah."
That's how they did it.
It's going to be tough to beat Mufasa, but, you know.
Somebody, anybody.
Have you seen the video of the dog watching
Yes, and it's just like,
Yeah.
that's such a sad dog. Just like...
I was trying to think of for
Do you
me.
want? Hey, Gavin, do you want to get those chuckleheads so they can kind of promote their thing? No want to bring the chuckleheads in.
Yeah, just
Might be too busy.
and there's a whole headphone situation, and nah.
Too much.
Nah.
Too much to do.
Maybe next time we'll just get them some lavalier mics and they can just pay attention the entire time and just like get us with wonderful
There we go.
commentary.
I like this idea of March Sadness. Though.
Right? What do you think,
have
Gavin?
to-
What do you think about March Sadness?
Can we go like
Top
for it,
character
man.
deaths.
Or is it like
It'll be different than anybody else is doing.
Exactly.
Is it character deaths? Just character deaths? Doesn't matter if they're the good guy or the bad guy?
No, we'll do character deaths. Animated character deaths.
I'll have to think about this.
Yeah. I think it'd be a good one.
Because I watch some dark stuff, so I'm like,
Jeez. Mine will all be like anime.
And I'm over here going, the other mother from Coraline?
Was that sad?
No.
Was it? Yeah,
But
it's
is
got to
it
be
cool?
sad. It's got to
See,
be
like,
sad,
for me,
though.
What
Well,
did
so
they
it'd
say
be
in
eliminated in the
okay,
first
what did
round.
they say in the episode of Doctor Who, Don't Blink? It's like sadness is cool for...
I don't remember. I haven't watched,
Sadness
Blink.
is cool, like, for... I'll have to try to find the... But, like, for me, when I hear the word sadness and death, I think cool? Question mark. That's gonna make me
Your
sound
inner hot
really...
topic shopper is coming out there, Hanna.
Teenage goth Hanna is taking over right now, so apologies. Yeah.
We're gonna put a pin in March Sadness.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I like this idea.
Maybe we'll do March Sadness next year. Maybe we'll actually have like an actual thing instead of like 5 days before the end of the month.
Oh yeah, like make a bracket and then have people vote on it.
Yeah.
Like what those dudes are doing.
Mm-hmm.
That would work.
Yeah, they were smarter.
Yeah.
We didn't
they
think
were
about it.
More.
Well, it's because Gavin knows basketball and all that crap. So.
Well, it's also our second year, so.
Yeah.
There you go.
We've been doing it.
We can make that work.
Oh, you better tell Charlie to be quiet. She doesn't like being on the podcast because she doesn't like her voice. So if she hears it, she's gonna be like, I heard myself, and then just
Do you know
cry.
what I hear?
Spoiler:
frequently?
she won't hear it.
Oh, that's hurtful.
I hear quite frequently like, who's on the podcast with Josh this week? I go, that's me. Hi. That's my voice. And they're like, no, it's not. I go, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's my voice. Sorry, you don't recognize my voice that you're currently listening to.
Fun times. All right. So, Gravy, where can everybody find you?
I am on Instagram at Gavin Audison Art. You can find me co-hosting Podcateers on Podcateers Podcast. It's basically Podcateers on all the things. So podcateers.com and at Podcateers on all the social medias.
Hanna, where can people find you?
Always can find me on Instagram and Twitter at @sillyred. Really sorry for that delay.
I was like,
I'm a little tired.
What was going on? You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Animation Station Podcast.
On Facebook at Animation Station Podcast.
Twitter at Animate Podcast.
And on Tumblr, Animation Station Podcast. You can find all of our episodes on iTunes.
And Stitcher.
Google Play.
And Podbean. And on our website.
AnimationStationPodcast.com.
Oh, he finished it. You want me to say the .com?
Yeah.
.com.
.com. Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. The Oscars are tonight,
Good
aren't
in
they?
the booth.
Aren't the Oscars tonight?
Hopefully Spider-Verse gets something.
Spider-Verse should win animated
it should win
film.
all the things.
Yes.
And here's hoping that our boys over at Tycho come out with a win tonight.
Have you seen the trailer for Laika's new movie?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm intrigued.
I saw it again yesterday, and then I saw Secret Life of Dogs 2
I haven't seen the first
again, or the trailer, and this time they're adding Harrison Ford.
As
It's like
Rooster.
Harrison Ford's. He's basically Rooster Cogburn.
Yes.
It's like Harrison Ford's like voiceover debut or something like that.
Which he'll probably only have a few minutes, and they'll have paid millions of dollars.
Oh
to
yes,
do it.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Well, remember when they paid Marlon Brando $1 million to be Jor-El in Superman?
Oh my gosh, I remember
Yeah,
that.
and he has 3 minutes of dialogue, and that
I wish
is
that
it.
was my life.
Right? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Do 3 minutes of work, get paid millions of dollars.
Or when Anthony Hopkins won like Best Actor, and he was in 22 minutes of Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. But in his defense,
he was in all 22 minutes of that movie.
and he is you forget it's Anthony Hopkins when you're watching him in those 22 minutes.
Yeah.
In that movie.
Yeah.
So in his defense, for that one at least.
Hi, Charlie.
He says hi, Charlie.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Waved yet. Wave, Dipper.
She says wave. Oh.
Well, hey, let her know that we can't cuss on here. She can't say turd nugget.
Well,
Okay,
we had
I'll
to
reprimand
restart
her.
this morning because of some language in which you spoke. So
Shut up, Hannah. All right, so thanks everybody for coming on the Animation Station. Be sure and check out all of our wonderful content on the social medias, which we said, our episodes on all of the podcasting places, our website. Check out our Unlock streams. That's every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central.
Great time.
Great time, fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
Right before the news. And then be sure and check out next week's episode where we do the Dragon Prince with some special guests.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Yup. I am, I'm very excited for Dragon Prince.
No,
It's
I
just
can't
been
tell.
it's just been dragon.
I didn't get you a bait for Christmas for anything.
Oh, bait's awesome.
So, yeah.
All of the problems that we had in the first season with blocky choppiness, all gone.
Okay, then I might give this a try
good.
though, because
Yeah,
if you guys have listened to our previous episode, I had some issues.
Hannah didn't like it.
I was not a fan. So
and there's actually story and character development now.
Oh, that's nice.
And they're
because that was completely lacking in the first part.
No, it was there. It was.
You had to squint to see it.
Yeah, but it was there.
No,
Hannah,
no,
it was there. It was like Gavin's hairline. It's there. It's just really hard to see.
It's just under my headphones.
Exactly. That's why
right
it's
now.
hard to see.
Yeah.
Okie dokie then.
All right. So thanks everybody. Thanks Gavin for coming on. We'll have you on again which comes out next first, Frozen
Toy
or
Story 4.
Yeah. Toy Story.
Yeah.
We'll do Toy Story.
All right.
All right. So for the Animation Station podcast, I'm Josh.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Gavin.
Bye bye, little butterfly.
Chugga.
Made you look.
Okay, well, I guess we can go ahead and start this thing. Welcome, everybody, to the Animation Station podcast. My name is Josh.
I'm Hanna.
And today we're joined again by Mr. Gavin Otteson of the Pocketeers. How's it going, Gavin?
It's going great. I'm really proud and honored to be on your NPR show today.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. We look forward to having you back many, many times. So first, let's kind of go ahead and dive into the episode. Hannah, do you have any news?
There's all the news about the Fruits Baskets.
Maybe we don't do NPR anymore.
Maybe not.
It's very calming, though. It's very calming to talk like this.
Yeah, it's kind of dangerous to listen to on the drive home from church.
Yeah, I could hear that.
I've had a couple almost accidents because of NPR, so yeah.
And today we're going to be playing wind chimes.
A 12-year-old savant from Ohio is going to be serenading to this today on a cello.
Oh, that was a nice cello.
It
well,
was.
Thank you, Augustine. Is that a name for a 12-year-old cello prodigy?
Yes.
Augustine.
Augustine. We can go with that.
No, he goes by Augustine, not Augustine. Augustine.
Very pretentious.
Yes,
right vein.
He's a little bastard.
Right vein. That would probably work with. Yes.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, that's done with.
Josh is dying over here.
Caught my throat there.